Would you believe that this delicious cake was the beginning of my baking journey? Today, I'm sharing with you the story of how I turned my passion into a business and without any fancy tools or a big budget, just passion. If you're there and you have this dream or you've ever dreamed of starting a business, then this video is for you. So stay tuned. So hi, beautiful people. Welcome back to the Shami's Kitchen. And for the new people here, welcome to the Foodie family, where we turn simple ingredients into extraordinary creation. My love for baking started when I was a child. I would watch my grandmother whip up beautiful and very simple birthday cakes and treats. But I would never imagine it will become my career, because that's what I'm doing right now, and that's what I'm earning from. So that's my career right now. All I had was this idea, or this like, I would admire mothers who would just bake cakes for their kids at home, and that's what I wanted to do for my kids. So that was all that the thing that I wanted or loved about baking. Never imagined it as a career. Back in 2018, I got this pressing. I was at home. I didn't have a job. Like, I was just at home. I just gotten my second born. So I got this pressing idea, like this pressing feeling of just wanting to try out business. Now taking it from my head and just putting it into practice. So I just went onto YouTube. I would scroll down on YouTube. I would just get these recipes of cakes that I can bake without an oven, because I didn't have an oven. So I would go and look for cakes that I can bake with what is it called, with a microwave. Cakes that I will cook with rice cooker, and even cakes that I will cook with pressure cookers on the stove. I did so many things, and trust you me, my family ate a lot of bad cake and just uncooked cake. But they always encouraged me and told me that I can do better, and they would want to see my next creation. I made a lot of mistakes, but right now, looking back, I'm glad that I went through that journey and I made those mistakes, because now I know what to do and what to avoid when it comes to getting recipes from the YouTube, or like where to search when I want something that I'm looking for, a recipe or anything, now to revamp my baking journey. Fast forward 2021. I quit my job. I was working. At this point, I had been in the beauty industry for the longest time. I've worked with very big brands like Floma. I've worked with Revlon. I've worked with Maybelline. I've worked with I've worked with very Depende Africa. And at this point, I was working with Linton's Africa, Linton's Beauty World, for those who know it. And I'd been in this industry for a very long time, and I was feeling this urge of wanting to just do something on my own, because it was hectic, the working hours and everything. And I wanted to really focus. There's this pressing feeling. Even when I was at work, I wasn't feeling like I was giving it my all like I used to. So I quit my job, not knowing where I'm going, but I just knew that I had to just take the risk and leap of faith. So I had a little savings plus some money that I got from somebody, a close person to me, and that I started a fast food joint. Like, basically, it was just a chips, which is fries, and bhajias, some samosas, just some fast food. Yeah. And guess what? I closed within 2 months, which was so disappointing. Like, I put my money here, and within 2 months, I've closed the business. But it wasn't because the business wasn't doing well. It was just because the area where I'd put my business, there was electricity problems. And because I was using electricity for the fryer, for the fries fryer, to fry my goods, I needed electricity. So there's no way I was continuing to pay rent for a place that didn't have electricity or any option for that. Now I'm back to the house at a crossroads again, wondering what next now. I've used up my savings, I have no money, and there's nothing much that I can do, and have bills to pay and kids to feed. One night I was scrolling through social media, Facebook to be precise, and then I came across this post in Baker's Club, like one of the biggest baking pages in Facebook. And I came across that because I was in that group then. I came across that poster of a very short course on beginners baking class, and my attention was caught, and I decided, how about I just give it a call the next day and see, like, inquire. And I remember, at this point, I do not have money. Don't get that twisted. I don't have money. It's just this thing that was pushing me. And I told myself, why not call and inquire? You don't have to take this class. Maybe there's another class, another. Maybe you can even take even a year from now, just inquiring. And that's what I did. The next day I called, and then I found out the payment, the dates that it was the next class was, and I shared that with somebody close to me who offered to pay that cost for me, which was amazing, and I'm grateful to this day. So I go for the class, which was very informative and very eye-opening when it comes to a lot of things, not just baking. And I learned so much about baking, like the ins and outs of baking, the beginning, how, like, what's important, the ingredients, and how to follow a recipe through, and all that. But most importantly, I gained confidence. Like, I gained a lot of confidence, because remember, back then, what, like, my idea or my dream was just to do baking or learn baking, just to bake cakes for my kids and my family. But at this point now, I was looking for something to just hang on to, you know. I just needed something to just hang on to, maybe give me a shilling before I figure things out. And when I went for the class, I learned the business side of baking, which was amazing. And I saw these amazing teachers who were teaching us, and people who had stories in this baking industry. And they share their stories of how they quit very big jobs, very corporate jobs, because their business is peaking, their baking business has peaked and is paying them better, and it's giving them the freedom that they were looking for. So that really encouraged me and gave me the power to go on. Starting out wasn't any cakewalk, pun intended. And it was really hard. Remember, at this point, I still don't have an oven, but I was trusting God for that oven. And I knew something was just going to give at this point. So I just needed the faith, and God provided at the end of the day. And I can't forget my first cake order, the one that I was actually paid, because at this point now, I've come home, I've practiced for my family, they've ate a lot of cake. And but now this one was the one that I really got paid. It was my nephew's birthday cake, this one. And that cake really gave me the courage to just do it, like seeing their faces, and the people that were in that birthday loving that cake, they were giving praises to that cake, never knowing that that was my first like ever paid cake. Okay, my sister knew, but like that was amazing. It was amazing, and it gave me that courage to just keep pushing and keep going. Things started aligning. Like after that, I started posting my business online, because now, remember, the confidence is growing. Now I can post my business. I have my first paid cake, although at this point now I've made cakes like for just advertising and decorating them for my kids. So at least I had like 10, around 10 cakes at this point to just post on social media. Like these ones, these cakes were just hilarious. Like they were just hilarious. But at that point, you have no idea. Like I would brag. I would even send people close to me and tell them, I look at the cake that I just made. I was so elated. Like I was just seeing like I was doing some magic, like creating something from stuff from like scratch at that point, and seeing how. But let's just be honest, like when you look back at your work every time, you're like, and I know even the work that right now I see, like it's an amazing work. I know like 2 years down the line, I'll be looking at that work and be like, oh my goodness, I've come from far. But that's the beauty of growth. That's the beauty of starting from some nothing and then growing. You see your journey, and then it just amazes you. So yeah, I'm posting my work on social media, and things started aligning. Like I remember there's this blessing that just, I think God like put in my way. Where I was staying at that point, the landlady used to have at that place before they built now the other apartment. That place used to have a bakery, like the bakery bread, not the cake one, like the one for baking breads and also cakes. These the ones that they sell in supermarkets, not the decorated one. And she told me that when they closed the business, when she, like I shared with her later on that I was she used to see me go to the classes and everything. And she told me one, I shared that story with her, like I've just started my baking business. And she told me, I have a lot of baking tins, like there's a store here, you can just come and check these baking tins and see what is viable for you, like something that you'd want. And it was a whole store. You imagine a bakery of 2 floors. They used to have it there. So you can imagine the baking tins that were there. Only that some were just damaged because they'd thrown them, there was rain and everything. But there are these Juakali tins that are very long lasting. Of course, I had bought like around 4 tins for 1 kg and like 8 inch, 6 inch, and the square one. But now she added more, so I had a lot of them. She blessed me with a lot of tins. When if you've seen my kitchen tour video, minimalistic kitchen tour, like I've shown you the tins there. They have just placed them in a place like I don't even have a place to keep them, and that was a blessing, and just God affirming me that this is the journey that I want you to be, and so many other blessings that came. Like everything, this journey, my baking journey, is not something that I sat down and then drew and told myself, or just even I didn't even know what to pray for, so I wasn't even praying for it, to be honest, because for me it was, remember, it's just something to just cling on. That's how I started. Like that was the vision that I had for it. So but everything started aligning, you can, as you can see, even my baking, like me going to baking school, everything was just happening like an accident, if I can just use that word. But things started aligning, and then when I got those baking tins, and some people affirming me, calling me when I bake cakes that I was not even sure, when you're a beginner, you have that thing. Yes, you have the confidence to go out and just advertise your work, but there's this thing also, like the imposter syndrome, where you feel like you're not equipped enough in that industry, and then there's that doubting yourself. So when a customer will send me a review, my goodness, that I have those reviews in my pages to this day. Like those ones, leave alone these ones that I get nowadays, that those ones that I started with, those are the treasures that I still treasure to this day. Like those reviews, how people love those cakes, and I was just a beginner. Oh my goodness, they don't know what they did to me, the confidence they built in me, and I kept learning and building on my skill. I use a lot of YouTube and inquiring from people who like have been in this business. I will call them, I will DM them, ask some questions. Some will be answered, some will not be answered, which was okay. And that's how I grew. So 3 years down the line, because that was 2021, and 3 years down the line, here we are. I'm not there yet, but I told myself I want to see where this baking journey will take me, because every day is like you're discovering yourself, you're discovering new things. I love learning new things, new techniques. I'm not there yet. I'm just a beginner. That's what I call myself. I'm just a beginner, but not a beginner like how I was in the beginning. Like right now, I have really, really grown mentally, physically, and even emotionally when it comes to handling business. When you're here, you just learn to love the ups, the downs, the in-betweens. Those places you're, oh, I really want to quit, because there are those days you wake up and you have no orders, like for months. Especially for me, there was the months that I could stay even without orders, and those were months I would just sit down and tell me I need to reevaluate my life and I need to look for something else to do. And that's still part of the growth. I have a big dream for this business, and I can't wait to see in the magic that is going to, like the magic journey, the way it's going to take me. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. If you've been inspired by this story, kindly don't forget to subscribe, and also share with me if this is also your dream of not just baking, but you starting out a business. And let me know down on the comment section what is really hindering you or stopping you from starting. So don't forget to subscribe, hit that subscribe button, and let's grow together, because when you grow together, we build on each other, and then we just empower each other. I learned so much from you. So don't forget to share a comment down on the comment section. Subscribe, like, and share this video if it really like was inspirational to you. So bye bye until the next video. Happy baking.